Coco Chanel famously said, "A woman who cuts her hair is about to change her life." And honestly, I believe it. Sometimes a haircut is about more than just hair. It's a defining moment, a transition from a life left behind. I saw this for myself last week. I sat down in the chair, showed my hairstylist a photo, and said, "Do you think I can pull off curtain bangs?" She paused. And I actually thought she was going to say no. But instead she asked, "How are your round brush skills?" I told her they were decent, and after another pause, she said, "Yes, I think you should do curtain bangs. Your hair right now is heavy and weighing you down." Heavy and weighing me down. Interesting choice of words. But I looked in the mirror and realized she was absolutely right. My hair was heavy, and maybe that's why I'd been wearing it back in a bun for months. But her words stuck with me, and they had me wonder, what else in my life is heavy right now? And what else is quietly weighing me down that I've gotten used to carrying? Weight loss isn't just about the number on the scale. It's about the identity we're growing into. And sometimes the weight we need to shed isn't even physical. Hi there, I'm Krista, and welcome to the Hot Air Balloon Project, where we focus on letting go of the things weighing us down, both literally and figuratively, so we can soar towards the life we've always envisioned. Today's video couldn't be more on brand. I actually took the name for this channel from a quote I love. Life is like a hot air balloon. To go higher, we have to know how to lighten the load and throw overboard all those things that prevent us from rising. So, let's talk about the things that are keeping us heavy, the things we carry out of habit, guilt, or fear, the things that weigh us down and prevent us from rising and have nothing to do with the number on the scale. If you're anything like me, you've been laser focused on what the scale says. But sometimes the real progress, the kind that actually makes us feel lighter, comes from letting go of what we've outgrown. And when we start paying attention to that hidden weight, that's when we actually make room to soar. Number 1, wardrobe autopilot. Okay, so let's go from haircuts to clothing just for a second. I will be the first to admit that I live in hoodies and leggings. It all started during COVID and it kind of stuck. I'm also notorious for wearing black, like all black from head to toe. Doesn't matter if I'm up, down, or somewhere in between on the scale. I've done this for decades. And here's the thing, black is comfortable, it's easy, but it also disappears. And lately I've been asking, am I hiding in it? I'm not saying I'm suddenly going to start wearing bold florals or neon orange. You cannot make me. I am a neutral girly for life, but maybe I could stretch into a navy or a charcoal or a warm brown that actually would flatter my skin tone. So I'll ask you too, are your clothes making you feel like you? Or have they become a kind of armor, like a familiar hairstyle you haven't questioned in years? Number 2, just in case items. Let's talk about the things we keep, just in case. The jeans that haven't fit in years, the air fryer still in the box, the mug from a job we couldn't stand, the dresses for when I finally lose the weight. We tell ourselves we're being practical, that it's wasteful to let things go. But most of the time, these just-in-case items aren't really about usefulness. They're about holding on to a version of ourselves that we're not actually living right now. And all that stuff, it adds weight. Not onto your body, but to your space, your energy, your identity. Over the past few weeks, I've been cleaning out my studio. This year is a big pivot year for me. My business is in flux. I know where I want to go, but I'm not quite there yet. And going through all my just-in-case items isn't easy. So many things were tied to old ideas, old directions, and honestly, a few not so great memories. The question that kept me grounded through it all was simple. Will this help me get to where I want to go? And if the answer was no, even if the item once meant something, I let it go. Because if it's just taking up space, it's not helping me become the person I've always envisioned. So what about you? What are you holding on to just in case? Is it helping you move forward or just keeping you tethered to something you've already outgrown? Number 3, half-finished projects. I am the queen of unfinished projects. Queen bee over here. And I'll be honest, this one's a little harder for me to let go than the other two. Remember that studio I was just talking about? I've got paint, wallpaper, artwork, even gorgeous brass remote control wall sconces, just waiting for their big moment. And that's just the one project I'm okay admitting publicly. Should we talk about the jewelry I was going to design? The dresser I plan to DIY? Should I go on? The thing is, half-finished projects aren't just clutter. They quietly whisper, you never follow through. And even when we're not thinking about them, we're carrying them mentally, emotionally. I'm not saying you have to throw everything out, but maybe ask, is this something I want to finish? Or is it time to let myself off the hook? Today, I'm committing to finally making progress on my studio project. You heard it here first. Please keep me accountable, and I'll keep you accountable too. Let me know in the comments below, which unfinished project are you going to start, and when will you begin? Sometimes all it takes is picking a date and putting it in writing. I'm starting with painting my studio, which is actually the room I'm in right now. I'm going to start before the end of the week, so in next week's video, you'll see some of that progress. Let's do this. Number 4, outdated beliefs. Several years ago, I told my parents I was planning to change careers. My mom paused and said, well, you might want to look that up. You might be too old to be in that industry. I was 42. Now, I'm the first person to encourage anyone at any age to go for their dreams. And don't get me wrong, I adore my mom. But I'd be lying if I said her words didn't stick. And I think that's where it started. This little voice that still questions whether I'm too old, too inexperienced, needing one more course, one more credential before I'm allowed to go for it. And maybe that's why, after 4 months of uploading videos, not one single person in my personal life knows the name of my YouTube channel. Because I don't want their opinions. I don't want their confusion or their judgment. I don't want to hear, wait, you're doing what? But here's what I'm learning. Those voices in our head, they're not always ours. Sometimes they're just outdated echoes, old fears that no longer belong in the life we're building. So let me throw it back to you. What belief have you outgrown, but haven't quite let go of yet? What belief is holding you back and hindering you from rising like a hot air balloon? Number 5, old identities. Earlier this week, I was having a drink with a friend. We meet once a month to talk business, personal development, manifesting, you name it. It's the most refreshing hour in my whole month. We trust each other completely, and we push each other in all the best ways. During this last conversation, we were talking about self-development books, and she said something that stuck with me. I need a book, she said, that reminds me to dream and to dream bigger. She realized that she was getting stuck in her old identity, and because of that, her business wasn't growing as quickly as she wanted it to. I suggested she read Your Second Life Begins When You Realize You Only Have One. Now, it's fiction, but it reads like a personal development book. I also suggested that she try closing her eyes and visualizing where she wants to be in 6 months from now, a year from now. Now, is this a little woo-woo? Maybe, perhaps, but here's what I believe. If you don't have a clear picture of where you're headed, it's really hard to change the habits and systems that will get you there. You have to map it out to move forward. And that means letting go of old versions of ourselves, the ones who thought smaller, stayed safe, and never made space for that kind of dreaming. So here's something to think about. Who are you still carrying around that you've already outgrown? And what would it feel like to finally let go of that version of you so you can rise into the one you're becoming? Sometimes it's not just what we're eating or how we're moving that's holding us back. It's what we've been carrying without even realizing it. Old habits, unfinished projects, stories that no longer serve us. What's one small shift you're ready to make? Is it finally getting that haircut? Wearing something that actually feels like you? Clearing out some just-in-case clutter? or maybe letting go of a belief that's been holding you back. Let me know in the comments. I'd truly love to hear what you're working on. And if you'd like more encouragement, more cheering you on as you go, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. We got this, my friend. See you soon. And I am still learning how to style said bangs.